I believe.
Yeah, there's a time. There's someone said on Joe Rogan podcast that they proved that there was a time maybe 25,000 years ago where we were down like 1,500 humans.
Yes. And for a long time, we didn't even believe that. We thought it was cavemans back then. And we find Göbekli Tepe, 15,000 years old. We can't even mimic this megalithic ruin. And they buried it on purpose by making it a time capsule for us to be able to do whatever with it. But obviously they put mad work into this. They're able to do things with stone that we can't even imagine or even figure out how they're doing this stuff. But we see that if you were to imagine any type of society having a restart, you would have to imagine that technology will branch in different ways every time. It all depends on what the needs of the time, where the money is coming from, and you're going to have different type of technologies. If we think about where we're coming now, if humans were to just stop living for like 10 years, say 15 years, there's almost going to be almost no evidence, not much, that we were here. All of our memory, hardware and our devices, all these will biodegrade. I mean, so when you think about a very highly civilized and intelligent people, you're thinking about a people who wants to speak throughout time. And so we used to think that, okay, they wrote on stones in order to record things. And then that sounds very primitive. But in actuality, they were shaping granite, the hardest stone on the planet, first off, and they were writing on this stone so that 5,000 years later, people like us can read these same hieroglyphs. And what is written in a pictographic way so we could possibly understand? That sounds like a whole different level of technology that we ain't even ethical enough to think about.
I have to wonder like how much knowledge was lost when they burned down the library at Alexandria, and like what was in like a library of Alexandria, like how much like just that.
The seers are like this.
Yeah. And it's like when they did those hieroglyphics, like, oh, this is, everyone knows this language. Like, if basically like right now, someone like did everything in English or Chinese, yeah. But in 100 years from now, a flood wipes us out and a new language is born, right?
Right. And they see emojis and they're like, I heard this.
Yeah. Oh, shit, you know what? Damn. What if, yeah, you're right. Everything older than you again? Yeah. And some old ass pharaoh raising up. That's, yeah.
Yeah, for real.
They emoji, that's hieroglyphics.
Hieroglyphics. You know, it's nothing new under the sun. Nothing new under the sun. So, did you see about what they found under the pyramids?
No.
Can you pull it up? They found, they did a LIDAR scan. So this is actually kind of scary. And most people don't even understand the scary part of it.
So what do we pull up?
The pyramids of Giza, underground. You can go to the images. There you go.
This one?
Yeah. So they got the 3D rendition of it, but then they have the LiDAR scans too. But it's pretty, see this one right here? Go to this one, that's a good one. Just show both of them. Yeah. So on this picture, recently scientists did a LiDAR scan from a satellite without government permission of each other. It's ridiculous. They didn't need it because they did it from the satellite. So they were able to scan underground, and it was very accurate. We could see from other scans. And these structures that's underneath the pyramids of Giza is taller than 2 skyscrapers. It goes around. These structures go around 2 miles underground.
So here's one for you. So every day I was home watching YouTube, and I'm a big Roman history buff, you know, so I tend to think about Roman history. and there was all the emperors, and one of the emperors, Nero, right? He was like this, like the crazy dude, right?
Yeah.
And so, suppose he burned down all of downtown Rome, so he built his little palace, right? So he built this palace there, like this also crazy, like this, like wow, like gold everywhere, precious jewels, like this crazy opulence, this fucking this ridiculous, right?
Yeah.
So of course he gets assassinated, right? And people in Rome hate him so much, like they erased him from history, right? They got all their books, right? And so, and then the next Roman emperor, like bulldozed his mansion or whatever, built on the top of it. 200 years later, they actually found it. So the excavator do some kind of do something else, and they found it like, whoa, they were blown away, right? And the dude Nero was fucking sick as fuck, right? They showed like his frescoes, like demons and devils having sex and like all kind of like crazy shit, like demonic shit. Yeah, it was crazy, dude. Like that, and so the picture, all the stuff he had painted, right?
Yeah.
And the Romans they forgot about it. Like 200 years. This mansion that cost people with all lives, it cost a lot of money. Yeah.
Wow.
All in perfect condition.
Wow. They thought he was the Antichrist.
Yeah, they did. That's the Revelations.
Yeah.
Revelation based on him. Yeah. People don't realize that,
60 name equals up to 66.
Yeah, yeah. People don't realize Revelation wasn't based on future times. It was based on what they were going through right then.
Yes.
The city, like, what's it? Something on the city of 7 hills? That's Rome,
Yes.
Babylon, I mean,
yeah, even the letters written to the 12 churches of that time.
Yeah. I mean, they were the evil empire.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just like some people say America's the evil empire right now, right?
Yeah.
It's crazy. Like, I'm a big Roman history buff. I took Roman history in college and stuff, but like, it's crazy all the like comparisons, right? Mm-hmm. It's like, Rome did this time, we did that this time, like.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
A lot of comparisons, right? And this is one scary thing. So part of our product we had to do, we figured out that we compared like the timetables, like it wasn't like right, compared to moments like, okay, if Rome did this, America kind of did this, it's kind of the same, not. So we figured out that by the year, Rome was a republic and they become an empire or dictatorship, Julius Caesar. And so we figured out that by the year 2124, we would be a dictatorship. Is what we figured out, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
We did that shit on purpose.
Yeah.
We did that shit on purpose.
Yeah. Hey, scoot up, son. David, scoot up.
Oh, yes. Well, what? I'm just blown away.
Yeah, there's no proof. Just like, we had to get in front of class and say why we thought 2124 and stuff, and
that's too much of a coincidence. Yeah. That's way too much of a coincidence.
No, 2124, not 2024.
Yeah. Oh, it's 2124. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And speaking of Trump, do you see how he had dinner with Bill Maher?
What happened with Bill Maher?
Bill Maher, the comedian.
Oh, yeah.
And so, Bill Maher is like pretty much like, he used to be very liberal. Now he's not liberal no more. He criticizes him a lot. And like, he's like, him and President Trump go back and forth at bars, whatever. And so Kid Rock's friends with both of them. And Kid Rock told Bill, hey, like, come have a dinner with the president. Bill like, dude, ain't no fucking way, right? And so Kid Rock made it work out. And everyone says they had a great dinner, right? Like Bill Maher, he took a list of 60 insults that President Trump gave him through the years. Like, hey, here's my 60 insults you said to me, President Trump. He's an idiot. Dogs are smaller than him. His show is shit,
Yeah.
And he asked President Trump to sign. President Trump signed it, right? And Bill Maher, like, this dude's a regular human being. I can't believe it, right?
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's just, I don't know.
That's funny.
Yeah.
He made him sign it.
Yeah. Yeah, right.
That's funny. That is funny.
So, think we're going to World War III pretty soon?
Man, it's really looking like it.
I don't know. I think we say that all the time, right? I mean, being positive, like we've had nuclear weapons, all these years, nothing's really happening, I don't know. Like, I know, like, and it's like it's Iran and Saudi Arabia having proxy wars. We're also on Saudi Arabia's side, which I don't know why. They're a dictatorship. Israel, Gaza. I mean, it's just Middle East is like, I don't know. It's always been a shit show there, right?
Right.
I mean, just forever, right? I don't know. And then Russia, Ukraine. And with that, I would never take Russia's side. They do have a point, right? Like, people don't know this, but like the Soviet Union fell, communism fell, and then this guy named Jim Baker, Secretary of State back in 1980, whatever the year was, right? he said the United States, we promise, us and NATO promise. So they're talking about how the Germany united, right? At first Russia was against it, right? And then they said it may be okay if we let Germany become one country, right? I mean, obviously we're going to put NATO troops in what used to be Eastern Germany, right?
Yeah.
But that's how far we'll go, right?
Yeah.
And 4 years later, we're in Poland. Then we're right there, right?
Yeah.
It's like, can you blame me now? Like,
Right.
yeah. But then again, like, I definitely think Putin got kind of overplayed his hand, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Because obviously, like, he invaded Ukraine to keep NATO from growing. But that caused like Sweden to join, Finland to join. Like the border, it doubled, right?
Yeah.
You know, you got the prime minister of Sweden telling his people prepare for war. You know, like it's
They didn't see that coming. They didn't see that coming. You know.
And they probably thought, okay, we'll just invade Ukraine. No one's gonna do anything. You know, like
No one's gonna care.
they're not NATO. You know, like yeah. And I realized that Ukraine's like a breadbasket for the whole world, kind of, and like. And of course, like Ukraine's like so fucking corrupt, you know. Like, if I remember correctly, the most corrupt country in the world was Afghanistan, then Somalia, then Ukraine, I think. Like, I could be totally make that up.
But I heard about a lot of Ukrainian mafia and things like that. You know, I haven't been out there, but anytime I do hear about Ukraine, it's like mafia type.
Yeah.
You know, like Russia as well. You know, but. It just all of it is reminding me of World War II. You know, the building tension, and it built up to a T, and all it took for it to spark a war then was for a random ship to sink, and I mean, no one knows who even sunk.
And they had the trade wars back then too, right?
Yeah, sure did.
Tariffs, what you want to call it, yeah. I mean, you just never know, right? It's like, and there's always like. I don't know if it's good or bad, but like back in the day, they had like these like alliances that were clad, right? It's, you know, now it's like one day, you know, we're with France, one day we're with China, one day with this other country. It's like always the fluid motion, right? Who's gonna?
Yeah.
And then like, you know, obviously China, Vietnam, both communist countries, but they're also kind of enemies too, right? Vietnam's not really like all down with China, right? Because the past 6 years, 5 wars, like hundreds of thousands of years. No, but they're both communists, you know. And I didn't realize this. I learned this from my trips to Vietnam, right? So the Vietnam, they beat the French. French had them for 20 years. They kicked the French out. Then also they kicked us out, right? So we left in 75.